What's going on, guys? Welcome to All Sports Best. Today I have a very special guest on. Jacob Kmatz is here. We're in Albuquerque, our first Albuquerque podcast here at ABA. Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I wanted to start off, you've had quite a journey in baseball. So I wanted to kind of get from your backstory to where you are today. There's a lot that goes into it. So you went to Sandia High School. Let's just dive into that first. Who was maybe a pioneer, at least in your eyes, at Sandia that made you feel like that you could do what you did in baseball?
Yeah, definitely my head coach, Chris Eaton. He passed away a few years ago, but that dude was awesome. He had more confidence in any of his players than we had in ourselves. And him and then Steve Suter was an assistant there. I still talk to him today, and those guys were just unreal coaches, unreal mentors. They really pushed not just on the baseball side, but just life and academics. Chris was always, you have to have good academics to be on the field, and
Yeah, that's good.
they just really instilled, the hard working mentality, but also just they believed in us more than we did at that time.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then were there any players that come to mind as well that, you saw maybe do some big things and you were like, I can do that?
I don't know if I really had the realization, but it was like I hit throughout high school, and I was fortunate to play as a freshman on varsity, but I faced Mitchell Parker and Chase Silseth, and those dudes diced me. I was probably like 0 for 7 with 6 punchies, and watching those guys, I'm like, those are legit dudes.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Those are obviously now like they're big leaguers, but so those were guys that I didn't get to know personally at that time, but that I saw, I was like, okay, this is attainable. There's guys that are actually doing it, that I can see doing it, and so that was really cool experiences.
And where did they go to school?
Mitchell went to Manzano, and then Chase went to Puget Vista.
Okay.
In Farmington.
Okay.
Yep.
So it was all, you guys saw each other quite a bit then.
I guess, yeah. We saw Chase in the state tournament my freshman year, and that dude shoved and then hit a few balls hard at the plate. I don't remember, but we got smoked. And then Mitch shoved too, and that was unreal because you don't really see anything over 85, and then you have a lefty come out throw low 90s, but he was good.
So there's a lot of guys now in New Mexico. I feel like more and more we're seeing talent come out. Your brother's one of them, along with you. What is that relationship like between you and your brother, and maybe the competitiveness, if any?
Yeah, there's always this unspoken competitiveness, as well as the the love and push for each other as well that goes unspoken. We don't really say it to each other all the time, but
that's
it's
not the cool thing to do, right?
No. So we're always together, just butting heads, pushing each other. He's always texting me egging me on to try and go play golf when he knows that he's gonna beat me. But,
Okay.
that kind of thing. But he's an unreal competitor. That dude works so hard. He doesn't say much, but he just gets after it.
Yeah.
And it's been really cool to see him develop over the last 6 to 8 years, from a little kid, and now he had 3 innings in the Super Regional to send him to Omaha last year, and he's
So
touching
cool.
98, throwing cheese, loving it every second. So he's got a bright future too.
So obviously there's a pipeline there between, Sandia now, I guess, and Oregon State. You went there. Now your brother's going there. I know it's not cool to, like we talked about, we're not saying it, but you're kind of knowing that. Did you influence him in any way, talk to him, or he just saw it and was like, this is a great program?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of both. He was able to watch me pitch, of course, and then was going up. I remember, going on my official visit in high school when he was an 8th grader, and he was just running around, finding any of the baseballs on the field to just chuck wherever. But from that age, I think he kind of saw what Oregon State was and what was so great about it, the camaraderie of the team and how the coaches pushed you and how it developed and all that. So when he got his opportunity, I felt like it was a no-brainer for him.
Yeah.
So just tremendous opportunity for him, and he's making the most of it for sure.
Yeah. I want to know about how you got to Oregon State, but before I get into, because I want to move into college here soon, but ABA, we're here right now. Tell me what role that played in your career.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I owe everything to this place. For as long as I play, I want to come back here. I want to be here. I want to train here. I want to help the next generation of kids try and get to their next spot. But, I came over and started playing for ABA in 8th grade. Before that, I was just playing with friends and stuff on club teams. But came over and met Campos. I think it was my freshman or sophomore year of high school. Introduced me to a lot of the driveline stuff and the power on program, and it just kind of went from there. And all the coaches here, they believe in you, they push you, they want you to, they want you to get to your best self, and it's awesome to be able to be around this kind of group of people. Mike Footy, Matt Footy, they all want the absolute best. They build this place to bring out the best in people, and so. That was very attractive, and I want to be able to kind of pass that along.
You've seen it develop too, right? Like it wasn't this when you started.
No.
What was your first impression of ABA before everything?
I mean, growing up, they were kind of like the dark side when I was playing. And
that's my impression when I was playing.
Yeah,
okay, so
dark side, like anti-ABA, all this, and
right.
As
that's
I
funny.
got older, it was like, okay, this is. Like, they have the pipelines to go play college baseball. And if I'm serious about this, like, I want to be where the best are playing,
Yep.
And come over and all the media or whatever you want to say. There's no media really about it, but, like, the talk of the town, it's not true. And it's this place, they love you. And, but, yeah, it's – I don't know what else to say. I love this place.
It was a big stepping stone in your career, yeah. So here is where a lot of people will learn some different things that you just don't get from a typical, traditional, maybe not coach, but traditional program, right? Let's do long toss, let's run, we're doing polls, but here we're doing things at an advanced level. Tech is ever evolving. What is like one thing or a few things maybe that you swear by in terms of keeping you healthy or just getting better?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the tech that Campos has introduced here and the staff that he has to be able to push that onto the players is second to none. And I'm sure you could go any big facility in the country and you're going to get the same things that you do here. For myself personally, I'm a big proponent of sleep. So, like on the off the field side, I feel like sleep just promotes everything and helps everything come together. So I take that serious and have a few things that I do. But baseball side, it's I think the Flex Pro is massive now. That's been introduced in the last couple of years. I've used it for the last 2 years as well throughout the seasons. And they just came out with a new study that using the Flex Pro 10-week program can improve your chances, or I guess get rid of your chances of potentially having a UCL injury by more than 50%. So it's kind of like, to me, this is a no-brainer, like a non-negotiable.
That's your career.
Right, exactly. Yeah. With the amount of people that are getting UCL injuries now, like, I feel like that's something you have to do if you want to try. Obviously, more than 50%. Now, it's not 100%, but you're giving yourself a better chance.
That's a big number.
Yeah.
That's huge. Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the Flex Pro?
It's
for those that don't know.
I don't even know. It's like a Wolverine claw.
Oh, okay.
It goes on your arm. It's like this. It's basically a force plate for your forearm. Your fingers go in different separate holes for each finger, and it just tests your force production for the muscles within your forearm. So it's essentially you're protecting all of the muscles surrounding the UCL, making those stronger so that they can withstand the force. Then protects the UCL and doesn't have to have so much force on it itself. So there's countless protocols you can do with it. It's just like strength training upstairs. You can do endurance, you can do strength, you can do power, you can do speed, all those type of things. So
all on this glove.
All on this, I don't.
That's
yeah,
sweet.
I don't know
Yeah.
how to describe it. You
Yeah.
have to put,
Well,
like,
I've
a
heard of it. I
picture
didn't know that was what it was
Yeah.
called. So, and I had Tommy John, and we did all the weighted balls and stuff that you guys still probably do.
Yep.
But those things weren't available, and you can just imagine the recovery times quicker.
Right.
And Tommy John's different now and stuff.
Right.
But yeah. All right. So, and you talked about sleep. I had seen a story about. Do you use Whoop or what do you use?
I used to use Whoop a lot.
Okay.
I use, it's called an 8 Sleep mattress.
Oh, okay.
Pod cover. And so it's basically just like another sheet that goes around your mattress, but it heats and cools throughout the night. So if your body temperature's rising, it cools you down to keep you asleep.
Oh, it's automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it kind of has that thing, and like it's got like a vibration sensor for my alarm, so I don't get blasted with the iPhone alarm all the time. But yeah,
it's big.
I've had that for I guess a year now, and I've enjoyed it. It still tracks your sleep, gives you a 0 out of 100 score, but at the same time, that only means so much because it's like in the off season I got to train. It doesn't really matter what my number is. You still got to do the work, but obviously it's another target point of like, to me, to be able to track it and understand where your deficiencies are, where it can get better.
Yeah.
Because I mean we'll say 9 hours out of the 24 hours in the day, it's over a third of it. So
Yeah.
a lot of recovery happens during that process. So I take it seriously. But
Yeah, well, I had heard like a story on like the fact that Whoop was not doing well when it first started. It wasn't gonna, and then they got an endorsement from like a big celebrity or a big athlete, and then they dove into it and they said sleep is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, proponent of recovery and performance, like not just and strength and everything like that. So it's crazy, and it's become a big deal now.
Yeah.
So I had not heard about this sheet that you have though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look at it. That's pretty sweet.
It's fairly new within the last like 3 to 5 years. We'll see if it stands.
If it stays. Yeah.
We'll see.
Sure.
So
all right. So you go from Sandia here in Albuquerque and decide to go to Oregon State, right? That's a big difference in landscape, in environment, all of the above, right? I was looking it up, and I know I have been there before. Rainy, wet, totally different place than here. What made you decide that was where we're going?
I didn't really. The weather didn't have too much to do with it.
Okay.
I personally loved it. Aside from not seeing the sun for like 3 months at a time, but in high school, I remember, I guess that would have been my 8th grade going into freshman year, or maybe the year before that, in 2017, when Oregon State went like 55-4 or something. They just had an unreal team.
Yeah.
I started watching them. That was when I really got into college baseball, and that kind of became like my dream school for baseball. And so when I had the opportunity to go play there, I didn't think about weather or anything. I was like, this is where I want to go to play baseball. This is where, I've dreamt of for the last few years. So like, I don't really care what the baggage is that comes along with it, but also the rain tends to be a home field advantage sometimes. So
that's fair. That's a good point.
I guess we'll look at it that way.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's cool. So you got to live out a dream school, and that's obviously what everybody wants. But what adjustments did you have to make with that?
Yeah.
Because you said home field advantage, so you definitely had to learn some things that you didn't know here.
Yeah. I mean, I remember having practices freshman, sophomore year where even junior year, all 3 years, where it'd start pouring rain. They're like, all right, we're going to do PFPs today. And like, we're going to roll it down, and you're going to get used to throwing this like soaking wet ball.
Yeah.
And making these throws. And same thing, like most PFPs, it's just you do the air motion, you get the ball,
right.
They roll it to you. But this one was like you had to throw a strike to home with a wet ball, get the ball, throw it to first. And so I didn't really have to like try and make any adjustments. They kind of put it on you to
figure it out. Yeah. That makes sense. But so there's no stoppage on stuff like that? Because usually there's like delays and stuff like that. You guys ever actually have to do that in a game?
We had a few delays where it was just you couldn't see and rain's coming off of your brim and everything. But there was maybe like 2 or 3 games that got postponed or delayed or anything like that. But
you guys were playing in that rain.
We
then.
were playing a lot.
Yeah,
we were playing a lot. So
that's awesome.
It was fun. It was freezing cold, but it was fun.
Yeah, I bet. So you got to play with some studs. Travis Bazzana, he was he was a first round draft pick.
Yep.
Was he first?
He
Number
was
one
first
overall?
Yep.
First overall. What was it like to play on a team that you felt like you always had a chance, both defensively and offensively? It was just pretty stacked.
It was so much fun because it was just everybody was on the same mission of we wanted to win and we wanted to win a national championship. And fortunately, we weren't able to do that. But it was so much fun to watch talent and it come together as a group. It's not just like a showcase team that's just playing together. We were a team with showcase players on it. And it was so much fun. And going to Travis, like that dude is unreal. He's a different person.
He's Australian, right?
He's Australian. Yep. He's from the Sydney area. But that dude is unreal. He makes everybody around him better. And he honestly, I learned more from him than almost anybody else just by watching the things that he did and how he conducted himself and how he tried to get everybody else to be better. And he was unreal.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's I mean, again, like you said, just to be able to make a team of that, because there's a lot of teams that struggle with that. We've got individuals. So what was, the staff like to be able to bring that together? Because that's a big part of it too, right?
Yeah. Pitching coach Rich Dorman up there is just a great dude. And that's what he preaches, is that we're on one team. Like the pitching staff as a whole is a group that is pushing for the same exact thing. We're trying to get 27 outs a game and punch out as many dudes as possible and not let up any runs. And
just keep it simple.
Right. And that he was awesome. And I owe a lot to him too. And he's going to be a big piece of what they do moving forward with just his mindset.
You got a chance to play with fellow Sandia stud, Aiden May, which that was not his first school. So did you get a chance? Was there tampering going on? No. I know that's not in college. I'm just kidding. But, did you talk to him about it and say, hey, things are good over here? Yeah.
I remember, so we went on a visit to Wichita State. We both went on a visit in high school. He ended up committing there, didn't end up going there. He got hurt and bounced over to Pima Junior College. But I remember being on that visit and we were like we have a shot to play Division I college baseball together. This is unreal. And so, once he hit the portal, it was kind of like, dude, this is our chance,
Yeah.
He talked to some other big schools that, they're pretty good too. And I think it was just, it was so surreal to be able to spend that year with him up there. And in the moment you don't really notice it at all, and then you take a step back and you're like, wow, we're actually doing this. This is pretty cool. So great person, and that was awesome to be able to have him come up there for a year.
Yeah. Well, of course, before the podcast, go through your social medias and check stuff out, and Oregon State did a really good job of highlighting the players, like you, Aiden, obviously everybody. You got like all these really cool graphics. Anytime you had anything good happen, you were seeing it later. So how did that play a part in just like your day to day? Did you ever feel like I'm just pumped to be a part of this?
Yeah. I mean, it was, of course, like at anything, you have days that you take it for granted, and it's just the normal. But I'm so grateful that I was able to spend 3 years there, and every single person that's a part of that program and even the school loves that place. Like every single coach on that coaching staff played at Oregon State.
Oh, really?
At one time or another, and so
it's huge.
They love it, and they're so passionate, and so that just kind of affects everybody else within the program and the school of like, this is where they want to be.
Yeah.
So it was awesome to be a part of.
Do you ever go back, check it out, or?
Yeah, I went. Aiden and I guess my parents, my now wife, and Aiden, we all went up last off season for the Orange and Black series. They're like World Series thing.
Oh yeah.
Got to see my brother and see everybody, so that was really cool.
Did you get to attend like the draft and stuff, or? Did they do a draft?
No,
No.
they didn't do a draft.
Okay.
No. I think they did this year, or actually they did do it last year, but I wasn't there. But yeah, that was cool to see everybody.
Yeah, that is cool. You guys got a ton of really cool gear. I noticed in one of your photos that you had a Wilson with the gradient stitch. It was like custom. How does that go down? Because you guys got some sweet stuff.
Yeah, we did. We got a decent bit. Really, that was the only like customized thing that we got. We got like customized cleats and stuff, but really, I liked it. Coach Cannon was a good kind of like the mentality of, you got to earn your gear kind of thing, not just we're gonna just give it to you up front because that's the cool thing to do.
Yeah, I like that.
So like we wouldn't get our custom gloves until January, which kind of sucked to be able to try and break them in, especially for the position players or catchers.
Yeah.
But again, like super grateful for just the amount of, and it's just materialistic stuff, but it's so cool to be able to represent the school while you're playing at all times. I mean, I have plenty of clothes now that I can wear.
Yeah. You have a shirt today, don't you?
I do. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's filled your closet up pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, super grateful for everything there.
Yeah. What is, a memory that that stuck with you? Maybe your best or favorite memory from Oregon State?
That's tough. There's
some
so
big
many.
ones. Yeah.
I can't even think. I think, winning regionals at home was an unreal experience. I think that was so cool. Just to be able to, we focused on that. That was our goal all year, was the steps of the regionals, super regionals, and Omaha. We unfortunately never won a super regional, but winning those regionals at home were just unreal feeling to be able to accomplish something that we put our minds to all season.
Yeah. And then I had one that so kangaroo court. Did you guys ever do that?
We did, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so did you ever have a memorable, either you or somebody else, a kangaroo court moment?
Shoot. Probably nothing that comes to mind that I can share.
Fair.
There's
fair.
definitely some good ones, but man, I can't think of anything off the top of my head here. Yeah, there's so many.
Well, how did you guys run yours? Was it like weekly? You guys went through it, held court, or
It wasn't as often as we would have liked. It was kind of like we just had the box in the locker room.
Yeah.
And you just throw things in there as you, I don't know, things happened, and then eventually someone would like go and open the box and be like, oh, there's like 30 of these things in here. Let's do a kangaroo court. So it may be a week or two, multiple months, once a season. So
Sure.
It kind of happened, whatever. But I wish I had something I could give you.
Well, so for those of you at home that don't know what kangaroo court is, it's basically just like it's kind of like an age-old thing in baseball where people do fails or do stupid things or forget something, and so then you write a note, right, and you set it in there, and then everybody holds court, and you have to. How'd you guys do it? Like dollar amounts, or?
Yeah, I think it was anywhere from 50 cents to $2 based on how
ridiculous it was,
how stupid you were.
Yeah.
So there were some $2 ones, but those
are a little more
though.
rare. Yeah. So then at the end of the year, what'd you guys do with it? Just put a little party together, or dinner or something? Yeah. Okay. Very cool. We talked about it a little bit. One of my first Oregon State guest actually was Gavin Turley when he was like a sophomore or something in high school, which is crazy. And then you were telling me that since then he's done a lot of things. You said pilot and stuff.
He got his pilot's license.
Yeah.
I was never able to go up with him in Corvallis, but Aiden actually did.
Oh, really?
And
you gotta have some trust.
Yeah. Oh, he was freaking out, and it was funny. The story is, Gavin goes up with Aiden, and they get up, and Gavin's just nonchalant, like, "Hey, I finally just got my pilot's license. This is the first time I ever flew by myself."
Whoa.
And Aiden's like, "You're kidding me, right?" So they do that and everything, and He does like the little nosedive and freaks Aiden out, but he was loving it.
Oh, I would freak
So
out
at
too.
some point, I'm gonna have to take Gavin up on getting back up there. But
Yeah.
no, that dude he has so many talents. Like, he plays the piano, solves Rubik's cubes. Like
That's awesome.
he just does what Gavin wants to
Yeah.
do, and he gets it done. So
You were drafted by the Tampa Bay Rays in the 5th round. Was it everything you imagined it'd be?
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was felt like I blacked out when it happened. It was.
Where were you?
I was at home with
Okay.
my family. Super small thing. Just, I was there and it happened so quick.
Yeah.
It's
so cool.
It took maybe an hour, but it felt like 5 minutes. It was just, it was happening fast. And so that was just being able to hug my mom, hug my dad, hug my brother, grandma, and then my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, and it was just awesome to be able to share that moment with them.
For sure.
Yeah.
And give me the, I guess, behind the scenes on that. Does that it's a phone call, the Rays call you, they say, hey, we want to offer you this kind of thing? Because they kind of want to know your interest, right? They don't want to just be like, oh, no, I'm good on you guys, and then draft you anyways.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some back and forth. There's a few different teams, and it was kind of like, okay, we want to give you this. And it's like, I was fortunate to have an advisor at the time, now an agent, that negotiated everything and was like, no, we want this, back and forth. And then he called back and was like, hey, the Rays are going to take you. And I was like, all right, sweet. And I didn't know that they were the next pick. I was like, oh, it's going to be
really? Yeah.
5 picks. I got time to breathe. And I see out of the corner Zach sitting there on the beanbag, and he looks at me with like a shocked look on his face. And he's sitting here with the draft tracker on his phone, and he sees it before it's live on stream. And so he was like freaking out, and I was like, wait, did it just happen? Or
Dang,
and then
dude.
so it happened, and
Goosebumps moment.
yeah,
man.
it was cool. So definitely it was an awesome day.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I always kind of wonder from like player to player, it's different. I got a call or a few calls, but yeah, it's just kind of a cool behind the scenes thing. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's been a couple of years, but still congrats on that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Let's see. When was it, do you feel like, that you knew, you know what, I think I'm going to take this to the next level? Was there a moment in college or even in high school that you were like, I can be a pro?
Yeah, I mean, it was always my dream.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a certain moment that I felt that. In high school, I was fortunate enough that I was getting scouted by pro teams my senior year, so it kind of happened. I went through that process as a senior in high school. I guess you could say that was the first time I was like, okay, like I do have a real shot.
Yeah.
Starting to talk to some teams, and then go to school and kind of just focus on winning and playing there, and then let everything work out the way it was going to work out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, because, I mean, it's sometimes you got to grind it out or walk on or do whatever, and you kind of got that feeling, like that wanted feeling, which is really cool.
Yeah.
What adjustments have you made since college? Obviously, you don't have to go to class anymore. A little more time, or is it more training?
I'm doing online courses still.
Oh, okay.
So not as much, and I should probably be on Top Mitt more than I am, but no, it is fun to just be able to focus on training now, and be here and see family and see these guys at ABA and be with friends from high school and all that. But yeah, there's been a lot of learning moments, throughout college and then throughout this last season, of ways to improve and taking a step back to be real of like, this is where I'm at and this is where I want to be. How do I get there? This is how the game's changing. How do you fit yourself into that? So it's kind of an all-encompassing
journey.
Yeah. So every year it's got its own little thing that's trying to improve.
When you're doing that, is that like a self-reflection, or is that you've got maybe a team or a couple coaches together, or that are saying, hey, this is what I'm seeing, this is how we get there?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything. For myself, I feel like I'm very I'm very hard on myself, and I expect myself to do very high quality things. And so when I don't, I try and figure out on my own. I don't know if that's the right way to do it. I don't know, but that's the way that my mind works. And so I try and do that, and then come up with an idea of like, okay, why do I think this is happening? Go to coaches, ask them for their input, and then kind of just take all the feedback that anybody's giving me. And I love getting the heavy criticism of, because that's what you're not good at. That's what you got to improve. So kind of a little bit of everything, but just having the right people to listen to. Yeah.
So you're a part of a wave of pitchers that is going to be well versed with the ABS system. Have you experienced it so far?
I haven't
not
personally.
yet.
No.
Okay.
I went to some spring training games and saw that, but I haven't thrown on it. So I'm curious. I don't know what it's gonna be like. So
seems interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there, one of the things I like to talk about, especially for any young athletes that watch or listen, is the mental side of the game. Is there any mental cue or mental mindset that you use when maybe things aren't going your way to get out of it?
I'm not sure exactly. I've been fortunate that I haven't had too many huge struggles, it feels like, but this last season I didn't have a great season by my expectations, and so kind of up and down, and I really learned how to do what you're saying, and basically like, okay, I have this inning, I have this pitch, I have, and bring it down to such a small detail of, okay, what do I have right now, and how do I do better than what I just did, and how do I make the adjustments? More so than good. Really like getting down on myself and being like, okay, I can figure this out, and going from there. So a lot of the time too, it's just baseball. Like, you have your great stuff and you just get rocked, and you have bad stuff and you go 5 shutty. And so it's like the results, I think focusing on the process a lot more than results, as much as people say that with a cliche, it's
I mean, it's true.
It is the truth.
Yep.
So really focusing on that.
Yeah. All right. So right now, as you're in the off season, one of the bigger off seasons, you said, going from college off season to pro off season is a lot different. What are you working on right now to either improve or just maintain, or where are you at here?
Yeah, I think throughout the season, I felt getting to the 5th or 6th inning of starts that I was getting tired, and my legs felt they weren't stable. Felt I was getting out of my legs. My arm angle was changing. And so I really wanted to improve that, just the endurance aspect and feeling stable in myself. So we've really worked hard in here and upstairs with the strength trainers and trying to put on some more muscle mass, more strength, all that good stuff. On the skill side, improving my pitch mix trying to figure out a splitter.
Okay. Heck yeah.
Dane's got a pretty good splitter, so we've been playing catch, and I'm trying to learn that. But so there was a lot of good pieces that the Rays brought to my attention when I got there, and so we were able to try and work on it throughout the season, and then now it's like, okay, we can really hone in on exactly what we need to do to come back in 26 and be a better version.
And is Dane your throwing partner while you're here?
Right now,
for the most part,
for right now,
it can change. He's you're a free agent. Before you were a pro, you were a fan. You can go to dinner with 3 all-time pros, past or present. Who would you go with, and why?
3. Okay, I gotta say, Max Scherzer's got to be my one.
Okay. Not on start day for sure.
Not on start day, or he'll probably punch me.
Yeah.
And then, I love Trevor Bauer, and obviously he has some things that are controversial now, but like, unbelievable pitcher, unbelievable just competitor, and trying to develop himself in his game. And of course, like me as a 12-year-old, I love watching his YouTube videos. So like,
Well, his knowledge of the game is
exactly.
next level, truly.
He's an unreal baseball mind. So I think sitting down with him would be cool. And then I think I'd like to sit down with like Randy Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I like that one. Yeah.
Or maybe I'm gonna change. I want to sit down with Shohei, but like I either need to know Japanese or he needs to.
Yeah, let's assume in this scenario that you're just fluent and it'd just be a good flowing
then
combo.
Shohei.
Yeah, that'd be
Shohei's
cool.
got to be up there.
Who are you replacing him? Who are you replacing?
I guess I'll replace Randy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's that's tough. No, that's a good list. That'd be a good, definitely a good dinner for sure. All right, so my last question: you're from here, you come back here, you work out here. What does Albuquerque mean to you?
I mean, it's home. It's where I grew up. It's where my family is. You know, my wife and I are trying to build a life here of our own, and so to be able to, you know, this is where everything started, and this is where I want to keep it going for the foreseeable future. So,
Cool.
yeah, you know, I love this place, and you know, I've definitely grown more appreciation for it as I've gotten older.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I love it here.
Awesome. Jacob, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it, and I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.